where exactly did the name come from?
Well, funnily enough, like I wasn't really a big computer buff or whatever in those days. You know, we used to have there was like an Atari little computer, and someone was playing a game of this game Dungeons and Dragons, but it was literally like all just typed out.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, barely little sort of like little animations, but but still. Like, I was playing the game, I sort of came in at some, I just was playing someone else's game, whatever, anyway, so I got to one point and it just said, you come to a cave or something, I said, what's in the cave? And it said, curiosity killed the cat. And I thought, that's a bit cheeky, but I always like those proverbs, I always like those sort of housewife, like, what we call them, so curiosity killed the cat. I thought, that sounds kind of cheeky in a way.
Yeah. So when you went back to the band and said, I've got the name, Curiosity Killed the Cat, how did they react?
Well, no, it wasn't so kind of like straightforward as that, because we were toying with names like all the time and then dropping them. I can't even think of any of them now. Yeah. But they're all pretty rubbish. And especially when you've got four people who all like completely different. So like when we had a cassette that had Curiosity Killed the Cat written on it, and our manager was like going around taking its people to play, and all he could say, what they call Curiosity Killed the Cat, is kind of like, mind your own business,
Yeah.
Kind of way you say, are you serious?
Yeah.
So like, so our manager really decided, to be honest, that would be the name, because I wouldn't have really chosen it as the name, as such, but because it was the only name of the only tune that we had recorded at that time.
Right.
It was the first tune that we recorded, so.
Going back to the track Misfits, the video was directed by Andy Worhol.
Misfit, yeah.
How did that come about, the collaboration with Andy Worhol then?
Pure, do you know what? Pure luck. Pure, maybe fate. Because when I grew up, it was a lot of years ago, and Andy Worhol, had, like when you used to have posters on your wall.
Yeah.
One of them was like a whole stack of Brillo pads or whatever, and like, or Campbell's soup stuff, and and also of course the chic side of his reputation. It's very cool to be associated, but like, so when I've grown up and be with the band, suddenly we hear that Andy Warhol's coming to London. The first time in like 20 years.
Wow.
So we decided to ask our press department, do you reckon you can get some tickets to go to this like, quite unique occasion? Yeah. So we kind of crash into there, all like wearing jeans and all like roughed up and everything. And when we get to, everyone's in line to get him to sign the books. And when it comes to us, we sort of all chatting with him, and they come behind doing photographs and stuff, and then so he invites us to a big banquet that evening at Cafe Royale, and there's like 500 people in this like big banquet hall, all the tables like thing, and all art buyers, mad eccentric people and stuff. Not like crazy, but
Yeah, it's an eclectic band.
Yeah, so we're eating dinner with but we're still in our jeans, because obviously we're, and it's all pretty cool really, and so then he wants to hear how we sound like, so our manager sends over like the tape in the morning and brings it over in the morning. Yeah. And then when he hears it, he's like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I'd like to do a video for that. So so he asks our record company, can I do a video for this tune?
Yeah.
Our record company at the time actually weren't going to make a video for us. I can't remember what there was something to do with the finances with the television companies and commissions and all this. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, that was a rumour. But then suddenly they changed their minds when Andy Worhol got involved. So they sort of gave, I think, I don't know exact figures, but I know at that time it was kind of average to have about 35 grand to make a video in sort of pretty much whatever situation. That was like kind of good amount.
Yeah.
And apparently that's that amount that was offered to fly us all over to New York, stay there for a week, like, you know, make the video with Andy Warhol at his factory.
Yeah.
You know.
Was that just a day shoot? Half a day?
No,
shoot,
it was like a couple of days, few days.
Yeah.
It was just like going up Broadway and you know, not like in all sort of where people were, you know, we just like in the back streets and but every now and again you get some like really like mad cool person walking up and there's a hi Andy, I go oh, hi, all this stuff, and they have to stop shooting for a minute because the sound man that we had on the video was Andy Warhol. He was carrying the tape recorder that made the sound of what we had to mime to. So he's like walking along holding the tape recorder, and then like, you know, and then we're just going to various places here and there, and then we go to like some mad restaurant. Yeah. And you know, like it's crazy, and then you know, and then so then we came back and tried to put our feet on the ground.
After that,
yeah. And that must have been amazing, right? Yeah. So you had Misfits, you had Down to Earth. Because Down to Earth is the tune that I remember hearing as a kid, the first introduction to Curious Kill the Cat. And I was like, this is big. This doesn't sound like anything else that I'm listening to at the moment. It's got its own identity. Right. You know, it's got a funk to it, but it's still pop. Do you know what I mean? It's like I can dig this. Do you know what I mean? And then Misfits as well. I liked, you know. Okay. And then you had more singles. I was like, this band's doing something. You know, and the front man is Beret on doing his funky moves. He's proper feeling the tune. You know what I mean? It's like if you're feeling the tune, we're gonna feel the tune too. You know, you're showing the audience. This is funky. You know. Nice. And coming out of the UK as well, it's like man, like there's a funky pop band coming out of the UK. But would you consider yourself a pop band? Well,
it was like, even though it even seems like a rude word now, it was a really rude word then. Do you know what I mean? Like calling yourself a pop band is like that's like a nasty insult sort of thing. But the truth is, pop is popular. And if it's popular, then it doesn't necessarily mean it's commercial. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But something that's popular can become commercial. But something that's commercial can't like be funky.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because I see it like as you were saying, like some tunes are made for pop. Like, what's the matter you? Hey, got to know respect. Shut up with your face. Things like that. That's made for pop.
Sure.
That goes in no other locker but the pop locker.
That's supposed to be a feel good.
Do you know what I mean? Hey, good do. You know, all those tunes. That's the pop locker.
There's no other category.
Fit them into, but then you have tunes that just are infectious in all certain zones, and it becomes so popular that Top of the Pops and the national charts can't ignore it, and so they have to play it because the masses are singing their praises about it, and that's how music in general gets popular.
Sure,
you know, it took ages again. They were saying for hip hop to get into the popular charts. You know what I mean? And that's happened with so many other sounds of music. The hills are alive, so many other sounds.
It's taken a long time for the money man to be able to accept the vibes from the street, as it were, of the people.
Yeah.
Because it's been an industry for the Radio 1 and all that stuff's been an industry for a long time. In that they you have people that deal with the tunes, you know, like what they get to hear is going to be stuff that's like it within the network. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Out of all your hit singles, what would you say is your favourite? What was your personal favourite?
I think as a single it was Ordinary Day, because you know, it's funky and it's like it's Latin, it's just sort of feel good. It's nice. It's like to me it's like a nice neat package on the video. Like when you see the video, like you can see we really had a laugh on it, and you know, like it's really styled wickedly, and it just feel good. Do you know what I mean? And to me that's good for serving the television. You know, the MTV generation. Yeah, because you know when you have a good video with a song.
With a song,
it can very much increase
of course
popularity of it,
yeah.
Especially with like video jukeboxes coming into pubs and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know,
cable, like you said, cable TV was getting bigger, and the box channel. Yeah, that was my sort of way of being able to see music videos.
Yeah, but I'm talking about even before that.
Before that in the 80s, because it was even hard for a lot of black artists to even get on MTV back in the days. It took a while for Michael Jackson to get Billie Jean on MTV, and it got his company at the time to say we're going to pull off all our white artists like Bruce Springsteen that off the channel until you put on Michael Jackson. They had to surrender, and that's the king of pop. Can you imagine?
Once they've done it.
Well, it is. Once they've done it, look at, you know.
Yeah, but look at Billie Jean, man. Look at the fucking song. Look at the song. Look at the song though. For a start, like it surpassed. It's sort of like it's on every man who likes it, whatever. In music he likes,
you're always going to like
see
that.
something in that he likes.
Exactly.
It doesn't put you off anything, you know.
No.
But the video is out of this world. It's so crisp and you know.
Yeah.
It's groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And then don't forget the awards. The awards where he does that.
Oh yeah. The 25th anniversary was when. In the 80s, there wasn't accessible to see music videos like how you can just got tons of music channels and you see music videos on your phone or whatever. Now you had to seek stuff. So it's either watch a little 30 seconds on Told the Pops, or see an advert or something, or your friend might have MTV or something. But so you know, being a band them times, and there wasn't much accessible videos. It was more about touring for people to see you, right? So What was your favourite tour, man? Was the crowd in another country better than another country? What was your best experience while touring, man?
Well, you know what, London's was always very cool, and then you go like Spain or something, it's like crazy.
Yeah.
Italy, Japan. You know, it's always really good for the performances and entertaining if you get your spirits lifted.
Yeah.
But in other countries as well, the sound was more crisp. Like it's all, or it's very often bad in England.
Right.
You go to other places and it's just like sorted out, man.
Yeah,
really good. So
damn, man.
it just makes for everything being better quality, you know.
Yeah, of course. But it must have been fun back in those times, touring and stuff.
Were you approached when to use the hey, how you doing, like for DeLaSoul, and more recently I think it was Little Mix used it as well.
Yeah, and actually there was a guy called Jaheim who also like gave us credits from his royalties, and Little Mix have it by default because they did a tribute to the DeLaSoul version, which was an edit of my version. So where I've got like, you know, like four lines or whatever, they've clipped it down to 2. So
right.
So then Little Mix never knew my version because it was way
That's mad,
old.
isn't
Do you know what I mean?
Sorry,
Yeah.
So they've grown up with that, and you know, sometimes I'm reading these comments on YouTube and stuff, and like people having these arguments about no, they did it first, and you did this, and it's like, you know, it's crazy, but
They're the wrong generation.
it's a buzz. It's a buzz to know that. I mean, literally one day I was sick of getting back to the answer machine, and on the answer machine it goes, "We're here at this club this Thursday night, whatever," and now it's, you know, like Sunday morning, and you got all these mad messages. No one knows if it was the club was last night, and they go, well, you know, they don't know where you are. So I wanted one message that pretty much explained everything.
Yeah.
Like, and sounded a bit fun. So I had this little Casio keyboard.
Oh yeah,
A
yeah.
little white thing with little keys.
Yeah, I
and
remember
then
that.
a drum
Yeah,
machine.
yeah.
Like,
I remember.
hey, how you doing? I'm sorry you couldn't get through, 'cause this is a message being recorded, especially for you. If you leave a name and your number, we'll get right back to you. You can leave a message if you want to, when the beeps are through.
Easy.
Wicked.
Nice, nice. And then it was a hit.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't actually that simple, because the record company, when we recorded it, after the first album was all done, like at the end of '87, we like toured all over the place, and you know, had a #1 album and everything. So back this time, you know, the record company's like, oh, you can go back in the studio. So we just get into this place, start jamming, and I've got my message. I've got the message from the answer machine. I mean, I've got little things, and so I'm going to, and we start jamming it, and then like it turns into a song.
Yeah.
And then the guy that engineered the first album, we used to come back after lunch, and he'd be like messing around with all the dubs and like effects and stuff, and so we wanted him to record our next stuff. So we did a couple of tracks with him, but the record company said that he was too expensive, he wasn't a known name, and the track has got too many words, and you know, it's too complicated, whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, so you're wasting your time. So they say like, give us a list of like 12 producers or whatever, and you know, your favourite producers. So we put down some crazy names, like like mine was Alan Toussaint, because I love this band called The Meters.
Okay.
And he did a lot of that stuff and all this like New Orleans kind of like really amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And then we had like Nile Rodgers, Rod Temperton, who works with
Michael Jackson.
with Michael Jackson and with Quincy Jones, and because Quincy Jones was working on something, but that was one like me. And then there was like I can't remember some other ones, but yeah, it was incredible because they all most all wanted to work with us, and yeah, so Alan Toussaint was said it was said that he called the MD like late at night because of the time difference or whatever, and he said, I just heard this tape, this band, and I don't normally work out of New Orleans, sometimes in New York, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And he said, but I would travel to the moon on the back of a monkey to work with this band.
Oh, wicked.
That's good stuff.
What a compliment.
And so he flew over to England and
Nice.
did a couple of tracks with him. But the record company, they weren't really that into it.
Why?
I don't know, because it was like it was going too funky way maybe, or was too, I don't know. Do you know what? I think we did start getting too complicated with our music. Like we didn't kind of make it bright and breezy.
Right. Okay.
We sort of got maybe a bit too, not self-indulgent, but
you guys listening to personally at the time?
The common denominators was certain types of jazz and funk stuff and sort of rhythm and blues. That they were like the common denominators, and then but like one would be like hippie, and one kind of punky, and one like sort of modern jazz rock or whatever, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. And so then the music was just like an amalgamation of all of our sounds and playing. So like the instruments in a way are I would say like kind of a singing. Yeah. Like the bass line, like often I used to work out like the bass player used to do a certain thing, and I'd be like, I like that, and then I just take that part just there, and it's like, wow, that's sweet, and it's kind of singing to me, whatever, and then my voice was just sort of another sort of instrument on it. Yeah. But then when you get into recording, all of a sudden the voice is like right up there, and it all has to make sense and stuff, and you can't really just jam it, and then that's
somewhat different.
Yeah, I mean that's the difficulty of recording, really. So often people used to take ages and ages because they couldn't recapture the vibe of the demo.